What's wrong?
So Bowden was born with Lyme disease, and at 12 months old he was bit in the ear in northern Minnesota with a tick that was also infected. So it reinfected him. So within 72 hours of being bit, he could no longer stand. He could no longer look at us without his eyes crossing, and he had a fever of 106. From there, we had brought him to a specialist in Iowa. As soon as they saw Bowden, they flew out to Connecticut, that doctor team did, to go meet with the world leading Lyme pediatric specialist. And then they connected us with a research group out of Washington, D.C.
Wow.
They had told us that he would not live. Even if he did, he would be bound to a wheelchair. He would never go to school. And if it was a miracle and he did go to school, that he would never be able to do sports or anything like that. We started long-term antibiotic treatment. And that lasted for years, but the antibiotics had totally destroyed the gut. It had just totally destroyed the gut. And so from there, we were in years of working with specialists all over, and best of the best here in Minnesota. And we tried everything, and from a natural perspective, mainstream medical perspective, and we went through a long process to be accepted over in Europe last summer to have 2 weeks of bacterial transplants done for him. And it's been a long road for our family, but the problem is, even after all this was done, finally the doctors looked at me and said, everything that medically can be done has been done. You go to Mayo, you go to the U, Clarissa, most of these doctors aren't even going to know what you're talking about with what you've done for this child. And there's nothing left medically that can be done. And I tell you, God has walked us through step by step by step. Ever since Bowden was born, and we have been at this day in and day out.
And so
finally,
you came to Brooklyn Park.
Yeah, and so finally,
What was that, 3 months ago?
Yeah, and so at that point, because the doctors are like, there's nothing more that can be done, I just sat down and I'm like, Lord, now what? And finally, it was just so impressed upon me, you're going to do it my way. And so what is your way? Show me, because I feel like we have done it all, and I've been praying and praying and praying, and we've had so many people pray for him. And finally, he brought me to understanding this gift of healing. And I just said, Lord, I don't know who does this. I've never seen this. This is not a part of the church I've been brought up in. Show me.
Where you from again? Minnesota? Where?
Yeah.
Where? But I mean
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Yeah, that's right.
And so I sat down, I looked it up, and he directed me to you right away. And so that was a long, painful month waiting for you to get there. So let me tell you, every single day, I told my husband, I know this is where we're supposed to go. I know this man is going to pray for Bowden. I know this is it. I know this is it. I know it. God has just deeply impressed this upon me. And so, but in the meantime, everything is just, nothing's being digested. Everything is coming back through Bowden completely whole. And so they said, if he doesn't heal, his digestive system will completely collapse on itself. And so when we went there, I said, looked at the boys that morning, and I said, we are going to be healed. I know that I know that I know that I know, and you can count on it. God keeps his promises. Sorry, I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
He keeps his promises, and he is going to heal you.
Yeah.
He's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And when we went there, you were so specific with your word, because I told the boys, here's what's going to happen. He's going to say it, and it's going to be specific. And you were up there, and you said, I just know that there's somebody here who has a severe digestive issue going on. Their digestive, it's a digestive issue, and this is a creative miracle. It is extremely painful for this person to have any bowel movement.
That's right.
It's extremely painful for them. And right away, I looked at my husband, and tears were just in his face. And we came up, and I had prayed to the Lord. I said, I just need to know that he is healed. I need to feel it. You need to do something for me, because we've been through so much. And you prayed for each of them, and when you touched me, I almost fell to the floor.
Yeah.
I have never felt that kind of electricity, but I shook internally until 3 a.m. the next morning.
Wow.
And I said, okay, Lord, that will do it. I think I know. And so that next morning, Bowden had gone to use the restroom, and everything came back out through whole again. And he looked at me, he said, Mama, I just don't think I'm healed. And I go, you don't doubt it for a second, buddy?
Come on.
Because I know that you are healed, and that's the food you ate before you were prayed for. The next time you go to the bathroom, and every time thereafter, you're going to be completely digested, and we are going to be fine. Don't you let Satan steal your healing, because I know you are healed. Okay, Mom. And so the next time, and every single time after that,
no problems.
No problems. Everything's completely digested. It
Come on.
was a creative miracle. And that's what you said it was. You
Creative
said
miracle.
Yeah. Creative miracle. And I thank you
Yeah,
for
we
your
love you.
faithfulness,
We love you.
and that Jesus
Bless
shows
you.
up.
Amen. Come on.